What's up guys? Welcome to the New 50 Noob. Now, if you're new to this show, basically I am a noob in the world of comics, but I love talking about comics. I just don't know a lot. If you've seen this show before, basically you may have noticed I read a little bit of Marvel, I read a little bit of Image and other stuff, but I mostly read DC stuff. So today I thought I'd talk about some of my favorite lesser known DC characters. Now remember, I haven't been reading long, so I don't know a whole lot about the world, but I basically figured I wanted to talk about just some of the lesser known characters who I feel like I like and would like to see more of. So today's episode is my favorite lesser known DC characters. Let's do this. Alright, so the first character on my list today is Black Alice. Created by Gail Simone and Ed Beans. I have a bunch of names to pronounce in today's video and I'm probably going to butcher all of them. Black Alice made her first appearance in The Birds of Prey issue 76, which I happen to have a copy of right here. That's right, got me some first appearance of Black Alice. Cost me $3 because no one cares about Black Alice. Now, Black Alice's power is that she can basically steal other people's powers. So she has the ability to borrow other super beings' powers, leaving them temporarily powerless. I don't believe she knows how long she gets to borrow that power for. I think it's something like the more powerful the power is, the less time she probably has with it. Now, I first discovered Black Alice while reading the series Raven, Daughter of Darkness, which I did a review for in a very early episode of the New 50 Noob. I believe it was episode 4, so I'll leave a link to that if you want to find out more about that. I read that book quite some time ago, so I don't really remember the story too much, but I believe Black Alice appears late in the series and Raven really wants her to be part of her team of weirdos that she's building in the story. When she first got introduced in that story, I thought she was going to be a villain, but it turns out no, she was a good guy, a goodie. But yeah, from the very first panel I saw Black Alice, I was like, I like her because, you know, she's a bit of a goth babe. That's my thing, I like goth alternative sort of girls. Also, I guess I like my chicks gothic. Speaking of goth girls, me and my goth chicks, right? You know what I think about goth girls. I like goth babes. Them goddamn goth babes. I would like to see her in more stories, to be honest, and I'm sure she's actually been in quite a few stories in DC history. I just haven't really read many of them. So, Black Alice, thumbs up to you. Now the next character I'm going to talk about is a villain. A new villain, and that is the Upside Down Man. Created by James Tynion and Alvaro Martinez, the Upside Down Man made his first appearance in the current Justice League Dark series written by James Tynion. And yes, I had the first appearance of Upside Down Man. Justice League Dark was really not a series that I thought I would get into because I'm really not that into the fantasy side of things and magical side of things, but it's just a really well written book and I really enjoy it. He basically appears in the very last panel of this first issue of Justice League Dark. Now the Upside Down Man's powers is basically magic. He comes from that world of magic and he is one of the other kind who are basically the original owners of magic. Whatever that means. So obviously, yeah, I first read about him very early on in my comic book days when I started reading Justice League Dark, and he just seemed like a very, very terrifying looking character. Basically, I've noticed a lot of lesser known characters who just appear in books as little side characters. I don't know if they're making their first appearance, I don't know if it's just they've made appearances before but they're just rarely used, but a lot of them just seem very silly. They don't have, you can just tell that they're just there to be filler characters, basically. Upside Down Man feels like he's more than that. There's nothing really silly about him, except for the fact that like he's upside down all the time. It's just like, what's he standing on? So yeah, I just thought Upside Down Man would be a good mention in this. I can really see them using him a lot more when they need some sort of new villain. So, Upside Down Man, you are scary. Alright, so the next character is Crush. Talked about her a bit before in previous videos. I'm not even going to bother trying to say her real name. Created by Adam Glass and Robson Rocker. Whatever. Now, recently on a video, I believe I said that issue 20 of Teen Titans was the first appearance of Crush. Turns out in my research, yeah, I know, I do research now, it's weird. Only a little bit, because you know, I still like freestyling and not knowing anything. But I found out in my research that her actual first appearance was the one shot of Teen Titans Special. I was like, Oh no, I don't think I've got that. It turns out, I do. Now Crush is the daughter of Lobo. Now, I actually don't know a lot about Lobo except for he looks like a very cool character and I should probably read some Lobo sometime soon. Now, Lobo is from a planet, I think, known as, I'm gonna butcher this word, but I'm gonna go with Chazania. Chazania? Is that how you say it? So basically, Crush's powers are Chazanian, hybridized physiology? I don't know. I believe it basically means she's a super being. She's got super strength, enhanced senses, super healing, super durability. Basically, she would kick my ass if I went up and made a move. Hey Crush, I'm just wondering if like maybe sometime like, I don't know, like maybe sometime if maybe, I don't know, you weren't doing anything, you'd maybe want to like hang out sometime and, you know, like maybe read some comics. And then we'd like totally kiss like. That's the sound I make when I kiss. Now the funny thing about Crush is, I've never actually read any of her stories yet. I pretty much like Crush based on her character design alone. It was pretty much love at first sight. I mean, punk rock chick, she's got like a mohawk, she's just, you know, my type. I'm pretty sure I'm not hers. So unfortunately, me and her will probably never be. Next. Alright, so I may not have read anything about Crush. However, as you may or may not know, I'm a big Red Hood fan. I do read Red Hood, just the current stuff. And in the most recent story arc of Red Hood, during the Year of the Villain, Red Hood is basically being sent by Lex Luthor to become a teacher and teach a group of young upstarters how to basically use their powers. There's a whole bunch of new characters in Red Hood, but two of them stand out to me that I actually quite like, and that is Devour and Cloud9. Oh yes, I like you, Cloud9. I like you very, very much. Now, you can't actually find a lot of information about these two characters, but I believe the creators were Scott Lobdell and Kenneth Rocafort, who happened to work on their first appearance issue, which was Red Hood Outlaw number 37, which is really only a couple months old. Devour happens to be on the cover. I really wish they put Cloud9 in the cover, but just on the opening page of seeing Cloud9, I was like, she looks cool, I like her. So, the powers, let's start with Devour. Devour is biotech. He basically eats metal and then uses the stuff that he eats as basically weapons. I think his body sort of just can turn these metal things that he eats into weapons and project them and do whatever. Cloud9 pretty much does what a cloud can do. I'm a little bit unclear about her really. I remember there's a bit where she sort of creates a bit of a storm. So yeah, I believe she just is like a cloud and she floats my boat. So yeah, Devour and Cloud9, I hope to see a lot more of them. And then there's my favorite from the New Age of Superheroes, Sideways and Ernstine. But I'm not going to talk about those two characters in today's video. In fact, I just recently finished the Sideways run and I plan on doing another episode reviewing the character Sideways. So if you would like to find out more information about these two characters, you can check out my previous episode of New 50 Noob, which is my top 5 male characters. And that's my video for today, guys. It was only a few characters. I want to make it a short one. Please let me know if there's some characters that I've missed, or let me know who some of your favorite lesser known comic book characters are in the comments. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it if you're interested in watching more content about comic books, toys, and general nerd stuff. And if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like. But until next time, I am Simple Simon. Thank you for watching. Keep it simple.